Okay, cool. What's up, 5 to 9 family? Kyle and Nate here. We wanted to just hop on really quick and go through just a couple of quick changes I think we're going to be making within the community and just kind of give you overall vision. I think when we started this group, we wanted to have a community of people that would collaborate with each other and put focus into ways to better each other's lives, and something that we think like we can do moving forward is really establish that and like make that something that long term is going to really yield benefits for everyone in the community. So Kyle and I have been like extremely focused lately on creating kind of the foundation to like what it is we're trying to build, and it's taken a little time to really figure that out. But it's been really awesome over the past year just to have interactions with a lot of different people in our Discord and like learn from people, whether it's like styles of learning, whether it's, what types of projects people are interested in investing in and learning about. And, there are two different kinds of people. There are people who want to actively learn how to do it themselves, and there are people who want to pay someone else to do it for them. And, both of them are okay because we're all in different seasons of life. And I think the key here is that we make it accessible for everyone. And for the people who have been with us and are, the NFT holders and the people who have been a part of the different courses and, pieces that we've done so far, I just want to say thank you for that, because it is very early in, our company's journey and what we're trying to achieve. But I think a lot of the things we're working on right now is super exciting. The projects, I mean, Kyle and I both bought into, Gala a year ago, and like that has been a project that we both invested in that has paid off, probably 10x, 15x of what we started with, and it's continuing to pay us every single day. And as much as we'd love to be like, hey guys, like go invest in a Gala node, they're almost $100,000 right now, so that's not something we can just share with you at this point that would be worth, the investment. But, we've came across something that we're going to actually steer our business towards and actually use this as a way for us to provide a lot of long-term value to the community. So I can try to share my screen here to go over the project, but I think the cool part about it is that we're able to ourselves right now have something that we can show the community that actually works. And what we're going to be doing as our company is actually offering this as a service to high net worth investors. So people who want to be completely hands off with this project, they're saying, hey, I have the capital to invest in this, but I don't want to be the one who's managing the day to day operations of the project, which is okay. And that's, again, something where we're willing to teach, people in the community who want to learn how to do it. And Kyle and I have been, managing this project between the two of us now for what, 2 months, almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point right now where I'm making close to $100 in rewards every single day from the project. Kyle's right about there, maybe a little bit less than that per day. But like overall, that's something where, again, if we can focus on projects that can help people in our community to make passive money and passive crypto to then invest into other projects that they want to, or to continue to grow this project. I listened to the podcast this morning about Decentral Games, and there's someone who is an early adopter who thinks that each of these NFTs are going to be worth over $100,000 in the next couple of years. So current price, just to give it to you, is like right around $4,000 for an NFT. So again, just to give you like the long-term snapshot, is like this is a project that like we are willing to change like a lot of our business model into in order to really make a significant impact and bring it to you at a very early time. So Kyle, is there anything else you wanted to add yourself?
Yeah, I think like it's just a matter of we, like you had mentioned Gala, and when we got into Gala, we were still very new to not only the space as a whole, but just new to like the business side of all of this even, and we never really like we had a clear vision on wanting to help everybody in the community and wanting to build a community where we're all collaborating and helping one another, but we hadn't really accepted or um we hadn't really adopted like that leadership role and taking responsibility for the direction of the business and like what we wanted to kind of lead people towards. And so like Nate said, like thank you again for kind of bearing with us as we've kind of been trudging through the mud and spinning our wheels to figure things out as well. But by the time, when we invested in Gala, we had thought of it as like, it's a cool concept and, yes, it was like a high upfront cost and like, the returns per day, like when we were first getting our returns, it was like $10 a day. And so like we thought it was really cool, but at the same time, we were like, this isn't necessarily life-changing money. It's not necessarily going to um, severely impact like other people's lives for the price point that we paid. And like we were kind of sold on a pipe dream that like we didn't really know if it was going to play out or not. And so then like, when it did end up working out, by the time we had and again, like we weren't as educated. We didn't have like all the answers or all the ins and outs of like what Gala even did or like how they were structuring their business and what they were working on. And so by the time we did understand it, the the Gala nodes were pretty out of reach for a lot of people. Um, and even today, like, Nate said, like they're almost 100 grand. And at this point, like it's hard for Nate and I to look at Gala, even if somebody had the capital for it, it's hard for us to look at Gala and say, hey, like this is 100 grand, but this will be worth it for you. Because I think that at this point we've just seen this space grow so fast that there are other opportunities to get better returns in a much short and break even in a much shorter um, time span than Gala. And so it's hard for us to recommend one of those things, but this is a project that Nate and I have definitely done our due diligence on. We've learned how to research these types of projects and the ins and outs. I mean, there is not a single thing going on with this project that Nate and I do not know about. And so our knowledge is so much more there's so much more depth to our knowledge that we have with this, which really has prepared us to make a really strong return on our investment really early on here. And it does take a lot more legwork than the Gala node does. The Gala node, it kind of just runs in the background, whereas there's a little bit more of a time commitment and some strategy and, just manage like time, just management that you have to perform in order to get the best returns with these. And so Nate and I have been fine tuning that, and we've come up with a good system that is, like he said, like we're going to bring forth a service to it. And with this being still very early, these price points on these NFTs, I think is a very, very appealing price point where it's within reach for a lot of people. And it's also, at a point where your asset's going to be appreciating, in that 10, 15x, tenfold range. And so in our beliefs, right? And so we're looking at this as we're here and we're early and we know what we need to know, and we have, a plethora of information about this that we need, where we feel comfortable enough about the not only the direction of the business, but our abilities to provide it as a service to other people as well. And so the structure that we're looking to implement, we've got a very cool concept that, I think Nate's going to share with you here, where it's creating win-win situations. So it's going to create a good situation for us, and then it's going to create an even better situation for you, where you're going to be able to collect daily rewards passively through this as well. And for you, it's going to be completely hands-off, and we're going to be the ones kind of delegating and managing all of these wearables. So we're prepared for it, and like we're just stoked. I mean, we spend so much time and energy just diving into this project or looking into like what the developers are doing on a day-to-day basis, and it's just exciting for us. And so We're really pumped to be able to bring something like this to everybody because, we just see a massive upside right now to it. And, a big transition over the course of like the last 5, 6 months with crypto has been, how can we create cash flow with crypto versus just waiting for assets to kind of moon rocket? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like investing and buying in at a low price is great, but it feels a lot better for me like when I'm converting my daily ice rewards into Chainlink at these low prices and I'm just watching my stack of Chainlink grow exponentially, and at any given point in time I can at the same time like cash those rewards out if I need it that day to to pay bills or to live life or whatever. So it adds a little bit more versatility where we're no longer taking like our hard-earned fiat money and investing it into crypto, but it gives us a lot of versatility in what we want to do with our portfolios, and having that extra cash coming in every single day, it really does change your perspective on a lot of crypto and like the entire space as a whole. And I don't feel like the crypto space focuses enough on generating cash flow as it should, because at the end of the day, like we're all investing in these projects and we're all investing in crypto to make fiat money so that we can enhance our lives that way. And I think that this kind of bridges the gap of what aligns, with us and what didn't, and how we want to proceed with crypto. There's a lot of ways to do crypto, for lack of like, for a very unintelligent sounding way to put it. Like there's a lot of ways that you can um, involve yourself in this market. But we found that creating cash flow is what's given us the most peace of mind. And so we have been laser focused in on that. And this project is one, out of a few, like this is one that's really stood out in terms of uh, growth potential, as well as, just immediate cash flow right off the bat. So, Nate, I'll let you kind of dive in and give everybody the rundown on what the plan is or what we're going into, and give everybody kind of an outline.
Yeah, and I think just like a really important thing to add to that is that we started this group because we wanted to create freedom. And for so much time, as we were investing into these things early on, is we were using our hard-earned dollar to invest in these projects that like that was what we wanted to use to create freedom for ourselves. And like, yes, like when projects went up in value, sure, we made, money if we decided to pull it, but at what point do you pull profits out of a project? Like if you believe in a project, then you should never pull profits from it. I mean, there's just things that like as an investor it's different than someone who's earning passively. And so I think what Kyle and I have really focused on, instead of just like using all of our fiat to like invest in these projects for the long term and leave ourselves like without the ability to gain additional money that way, is we said, okay, what can we find that can actually make us money so that like we're not stressed out about our paychecks, like using that to pay our bills. Like now, like Kyle said, like he can pull out ice or he can pull out Gala to pay for his car bill. And now that's extra money he has from his job that he can choose to reinvest back into other projects, or, just have that money free in hand. I mean, I think the thing about a mastermind group is that we should all be trying to find ways to have more time freedom. And I think that's the thing that we're really seeing with this project is we can create a lot more time freedom for ourselves and like make it lucrative for both, our business as well as for the people in our community and the other investors that we're hoping to work with this project. I mean, we're networking right now with an individual who has high net worth investors that have multiple millions of dollars that they want to invest in this project potentially, and we're putting together contracts for this. I have someone who is looking to invest $50,000 into this project with us that we're going to be able to, hopefully grow that for him and make it something that can yield, a lot of investment opportunity long term. So I think the time we've spent with this project and actually seen how it works and like we understand the tokenomics behind this project, like we're willing to put our name as a company and as Kyle and Nate, to people who are, arguably the face right now of 5 to 9 and like want to like be here as like people that you can come to and ask questions. Like we're willing to like say, although we have those other things that we're talking about in our Discord, this is our focus. Like this is where we feel like we can help anyone who's interested actually make a passive income, actually help them create that time freedom that so many people want, but like it's really hard to find sometimes unless you have like enough to buy a duplex or enough to buy an apartment complex or something that could actually get you passive income. Um, so here, let me share my screen here. Okay, can you see the Decentral Games?
Yep.
Okay, so play to earn is like a term that's going on right now in the industry, in the crypto space. So there's a lot of, I'd say, and you can correct me a little bit, Kyle, on this too. I'd say right now, the play to earn space is something that a lot of the big crypto people are looking into because there is that ability to earn passively, whether it's Gala, Decentral Games, Axie Infinity, all of these companies are focusing on ways to create something that they will get users into their system to actively use on a day-to-day basis.
I agree with that. And I think that, you know, again, like I had said, like the crypto space is moving so fast. And we've watched where there's grown to be, I mean, there's always been ways to generate cash flow with crypto. And the first and only way for a long time was through mining. And then there came, these node services and like other things. But now, like the new, like very early, like up and coming form of cash flow for crypto is play to earn gaming. And that's like very early in on the boom. And so, and it's getting reworked. Like there's still, the reason that I believe that it's still so early is that all of the play to earn ecosystems are working out kinks that they're running into in terms of like ICE token inflation and what have you. They're all still working out kinks to create the best user experience. And a lot of other games, to kind of give ICE credit, a lot of other games are beginning to follow suit with what ICE is doing. They're beginning to take a lot of the tokenomics and a lot of the burning mechanisms that ICE has, and they're starting to implement it into their own games, including Axie Infinity, which is like the biggest, broadest play to earn game that kind of put play to earn on the map. And so,
Yep.
yeah, it's just a new space, and it's still developing, and it's creating a lot of opportunity for us as early investors.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think too, like something I want to get into a little bit after I go through just like some, I'm gonna keep it like really brief, just going through like bits and pieces of this because like I don't want to like do like a full overview on this call. It's more or less just going over like very high level ideas right now, but something that again, like we made an NFT for our community for anyone who invested early on, like with us and like into our crypto courses, and like Kyle's actually going to be working on a full course, a beginner course, mid tier, high tier, whatever level you're looking to learn. That's something that we're going to be helping people in our community with. And if you were someone who bought our first class and got the NFT, then that's something that this is actually going to be like one perk that we're going to offer in terms of holding that NFT. So we only made 100 of those NFTs for a reason. Like we wanted to like give benefits to people who were here with us from day one and allow you to like really reap the benefits of the time and effort that Kyle and I have put into this project. And who's to say that 6 months from now that there's a new project that we like add into our portfolio that we can like help manage as well, and then offer that as something more so discounted to our community that way and for the people who hold those NFTs. So all that to say, I think like this is like step one, right? Like the foundation's kind of been built with what we've been trying to do, but like now it's like starting to actually like come to fruition where it's like, okay, like this is number one. Like what's the next thing that 5 to 9 is going to bring to us that could be a second perk off of that NFT? So Um, how this works is there's owners and there's delegates. Just to keep it like very simple. So Kyle and I are both owners. So if I hit onto Ice Poker here and go to my items, so as you see, these are my 4 NFTs that I hold right now. And so as you see on the page, they're delegated to different players. So again, keeping it really brief, I have this piece that I have sent to someone else in the world to use and to like actually go into the metaverse and play poker. And so the cool thing about this project is that if you do not have one of these NFTs delegated to you, or if you do not hold one, then you cannot go into the game and actually play the game to earn. So it's a barrier of entry for not like everyone just going into the game and just playing it and like, making it so that the money is really hard to make. So there's a limited number of these NFTs that are in the market. And in my opinion, it's really smart of Decentral Games that they limited that number because they want it to be tougher for people to get in because they want to keep the value of this project to its users. And so you can buy these. There's multiple ways to buy them. You can either mint it when the company has like a new offering or a new like clothing line, if you want to call it that, or you can go into OpenSea and you can purchase one of these NFTs there. So the part that I think is very underrated for this project is that when you delegate this piece, there's a management piece to it. And that's something that a lot of people don't really have the time or the interest in being like, oh, I have to check in with my delegate. I have to make sure that like they're doing the right things. I have to make sure they're not blowing chips and like doing different things that way, which is like something that I feel like Kyle and I have done a really good job of is like going through finding people that we can trust, find people who are going to check in every single day. They're going to knock out the different tasks that they have to complete and they're able to then earn a crypto coin called ICE that we've talked about in our Discord a bunch and like our NFT chat, and that ICE can be used then to convert to US dollar. Now the cool thing is a lot of the people that Kyle and I work with are in third world countries, and so if they earn 200 ICE, that's $20 in US. But for some of them in third world countries, they make more in a day playing with one of these poker NFTs than they would in a week or a month of working a job in some of the countries they live in. Like for us, like that's something super powerful. It's like look at like we're making an impact on people that like we would probably never meet in our lives, but like now like we have access to like help people who like actually need that resource or that help, and they're not going to be able to ever afford one of these NFTs. This is actually something that I think Decentral Games is doing a really good job of is like there's a mint this Thursday where they're actually giving the delegates, a discounted rate on an NFT so that they can actually get one instead of only being a delegate. So I think again, like they're just doing everything right as owners of this company and of this project. Uh, and yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say they're incentivizing player ownership, which is going to be very beneficial for the ecosystem as a whole. I think a lot of times when people get into something, they want to think incoherently selfishly, like they want to think of what can I get out of it and like what's the and you should like you want to like be calculated on what you can get out of something if you're going to invest in it, but for the ecosystem as a whole, it's very important that players become owners and that it broadens the horizons of the player base, so that more people can become or can get access to the casino, I guess, into the games.
Definitely. So, and like this is the great part about like having this management piece. Again, you could choose to be an NFT owner yourself and like delegate it and like manage it, but like again, it just takes time. Like it takes time to find someone who you can trust someone who's going to go through and like do the challenges and check-ins and different things that way. So I feel like it's something that like we can offer, the community that way. But just to show you, like you get access to seeing like all of the different statistics from like what your delegate is doing. And like you can find out if like they're actually like, going through and completing their challenges. Like you can see like where they're averaging on like the leaderboard, because you want people who are going to be bringing you consistent results and actually doing and playing the game right, because that's what's going to ultimately yield you a higher passive income that way as well. So this just to show like how like simple and easy it is to track that information. And now this shows where you can actually like earn, the crypto coin. So every day at 7 p.m. now that it's daylight savings, I get paid out in ice, and I also earn XP. So XP is based off of the challenges that the delegates are completing. So this is see the river card 15 times, have 2 straights in a day, get 3 full houses. So it's literally the delegate earns XP points by just sitting on their computer and playing poker. So what's nice about this is the more NFTs you have, the more XP points that you earn. I believe it's 6 XP per day that you can earn per NFT. Is that right, Kyle?
Yep.
Okay. And so then you can see like the breakdown of like which player like earned you the most ice, which tier were they in terms of like the leadership board, so that you can then reward your delegates based off of the different days that they had and by completing things. And like if they had a really good day, sometimes you can send them a little extra ice as a little incentive for having a good day. So again, like you can track this information really easily and like be able to just like stay very consistent with like your communication. So the next part I'll go into is just the upgrade ability. So why the XP was really important is XP is one of the 3 things you need in order to upgrade your piece. So every time you mint one, it comes to you as level 1. So level 1 shows here, I'll hit this right here. So level 1 is like 1 to 7% bonus. So this is every day, the amount of ice that you earn, there's a bonus associated with that piece. So if it's level 1, you're going to get 1 to 7% on top of what they earn by playing. As you upgrade, you go from, again, that 7% to 8 to 15%. And it's randomly generated every time you upgrade. You can't choose what level it is. They will give you 12%, they'll give you 11%. And as you upgrade, then that's more bonus that you earn on that piece. So a lot of people will say that you want to upgrade them fast because then you earn a higher percentage, but then you also strategically want to do it though because it takes ice. So it takes ice and DG coin, and it takes the XP in order to upgrade your pieces. So you might want to save your ice because the mint that they're doing on Thursday this week is 30,000 ice in order to buy that new piece. Now, I'm not in a place where I'm going to be able to get it this Thursday, but if I wouldn't have upgraded some of my pieces, that's maybe something I could have used now to mint that new piece. So this is again like a little bit more of the strategy side of like how we can like manage this part for people and say, hey, like you've earned 15,000 ice this week. Do you want to reinvest it back into upgrading your piece? Or do you want us to pay you that out as part of your, monthly earnings or weekly earnings or things that way? Um, and again, like just going into more of the management side and like how we're going to apply this to our business is what we want to do is actually make a management type structure to this portfolio. So if I have someone who wants to invest, let's say $50,000 into this project. Now what Kyle and I are going to do as 5 to 9 masterminds is we're going to say, okay, we're going to charge you an upfront management fee. And I think this is really important just to like explain the nuance and like the idea behind it is we want to pay you that management fee back as soon as possible. Every single day that you have someone delegated and earning is money that goes back on a management fee that we charge. And our management fee is strictly, it's going to take us time to manage your account and to manage your NFT and to make sure that you have someone who's really good, who's using your piece and going in every day and doing the work so that you don't have to do it. Or that, let's say real estate agent who has no time because they're working and selling houses every day, but they want to earn passive income. Now we can manage that and we charge a fee, but then what our goal is and what we're trying to do is earn enough within a 90-day time period to pay you back whatever we charge as a management fee. So to give you structure and context, because again, like we're talking about our NFT holders and perks that we're going to give. So for someone who's not a part of 5 to 9, we're going to be charging $1,000 up front for a management fee. And again, that's paying us for our time to do the work. But from there, we're going to pay back that $1,000 to the owner based on, again, the ice every single day that's being paid out. Now we have incentive to make sure again that everything is taken care of, because as soon as we pay back that $1,000 in profits, then what we're going to do is actually do a split of the ice that's earned. So yes, you're taking the risk by paying us the $1,000 if again outside of 5 to 9, but we make nothing on this project until we pay you back that full amount. And then from there, that's when the percentage split, goes different directions. So technically speaking, like your $1,000 is paid back. And so now like you're clean and free. And then you also have this NFT that's continuing to go up in value because you're upgrading the piece. And again, I've heard from multiple people, there's a really good chance this goes up to $100,000 per NFT. Now, when I bought my Gala note at $7,000 and people were like, oh yeah, these are going to be worth $100,000 one day. And I said to Kyle, it's going to be a long time before this thing is worth $100,000. Like it's only $8,000 right now. And like, it's been only a year and the Gala notes are worth $100,000. So again, like we've just seen this space and we know this space so well that like we see this opportunity and like we know that this is a project that is going to have long-term utilities. So all that to say, like our goal is to like help people manage a complete guild. We want to help people who are looking to grab 4 or 5, 6 of these NFTs, but again, don't want to sit around, communicating to delegates, or managing, this to delegates and like keeping track of like the different pieces. So that's something that again, like we're starting 5 to 9 and like that's our focus right now is to be building this out. So again, we're going to be networking with a lot of people. We're going to be kind of displaying like what we've done so far and kind of like showing like our proven process of like how we can be efficient with this project. But with 5 to 9, what we wanted to do is we wanted to make this like more accessible, because I know like that upfront fee, although you get it paid back through profits, we wanted to make it so that it's like more easily affordable and it's really again a perk of holding that NFT. Now we're going to come out with more details on exact costs of like what we're looking to do in terms of managing for our community, but I wanted to just give everyone a really good idea today of like what the power of this project is, what our focus with 5 to 9 is, because I think as we grow, it's really important for us to be really transparent with you on like what we're using, 5 to 9 funds for. Like when we charge for something, like it's not like Kyle and I are just taking that money and like we're just using it to buy like whatever we want. No, it's like we're actually continuing to reinvest back into this company so that like we can actually bring more benefits and perks to everyone who's associated with our group and people who've been here with us and contributing to our company. So we're just really excited. Like this is something where I told Kyle like I haven't felt this excited about something in like a really long time. Like I've actually gone like into like more of a part-time role with my company, because like I want to put a lot of like focus on this because I know the impact it can have on other people. And like Kyle's like in a really similar boat. Like we're both taking like major steps towards creating like not only financial freedom for ourselves but time freedom. so that like we can really actually use our time to help people, because when we were working so much, it's hard to help people when you don't have the time to do it. But now that's a position we feel like we can move ourselves into to make a pretty big impact that way. So um, I'm probably good leaving it right there, Kyle, unless like there's other like overarching like things that like you wanted to bring up. But I think this is just a really good like general overview of like what's to come.
Yeah. Well, I think like, we're so in the thick of it too that like when, and we look at it as our service or our duty to, at least expose you. Like, we're not going to tell you what you should do because with like the profits or with anything, but we have been going through this and we've tried a lot of different things and we've done a lot of different things with our earnings out of this that we look at it as like our service to provide you with all of your options of what you want to do. Do you want to, leave the ice in the account and stack it up and then eventually convert that into more wearables down the road, or and like scale it that way, or do you want to put everything that you earn every day into a stable coin so that you're not, um, dealing with the fluctuations of the price of ice day in and day out. You're just able to stable up and get your, hold your crypto pegged to the dollar. I mean, there are so many things that we've done, or like I said earlier, like I've been right now, like while prices have been super appealing, I've been converting my rewards every day into Chainlink, and then I go and I deposit that Chainlink into another protocol where I can borrow against it. So there's a lot of different avenues that you can take, and we are taking the responsibility of, or like taking it upon ourselves to make sure that we are providing you with all of the options so that you can decide for yourself what direction you want to take. Because essentially, like, I look at this, like I was telling Nate, I was like, we each own a metaverse business. Like, this is my business. I have wearables, or I have assets, right, that are delegated out, or that I hire out to other people to play and perform their tasks or their duties. And then, and then I'm essentially paying them through like ICE that they're earning, on a performance basis. And so like I look at this like it's a metaverse business. And so and so I take it very seriously, and like we're going to be taking it very seriously for you as well. And so, or for others as well. And so we're making sure that we have the entire like playing field covered in terms of what your options are and what you want to do, and you get to choose what it is that you want to do with it. There is no wrong answer. That's the beautiful part, is that you get to run your business how you want to run it, and we are simply here to say yes sir, yes ma'am, and we will execute on the plan. So you get to still remain in control of your assets. Like if we come in like 6 months and we're like, hey, like the price of ice is running super hot. Like, do you want to like stable up or sell off or everything? Like, we're just here to keep you up to date and keep you in tune, because we are engaged in this all day, every single day for like the last month. For me, like I've been every single day down this rabbit hole, and so saving you that time and that energy of having to, get all of those ducks in a row is like part of what we look at as our service and our duty to do for you. But yeah, Nate, I think you crushed it. I mean, you covered absolutely everything and more. And, let us know if you have any other questions here. I think I did see somebody.
Yeah, I've been responsible.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
The beauty of this too is, we're sharing it with you because it's something that's worked for us. And like, if you want to go down that rabbit hole and like, hey, like we just gave you like some free game, like go to Decentral Games, buy an NFT, and like scroll through and like find delegates, have conversations, start to build trust with delegates. Like here's your here's your free tip. Like watch this video and like you can start your own business today by doing this. And like that's totally
Yep.
for the people who want to do that and like they have the time to do it, they have the income or the money to go buy your own NFT and like do all that yourself, like that's totally fine. Like you can do that.
Yep.
But for the people who don't have the time, but like might have the capital, like that's something that we're willing to offer, and like we're willing to do that at a discounted rate for the people who are in our group. Because again, this is something where I mean, I invested in Zed Run, like I paid a management fee to have someone, I started with 3 horses. I now have 18 horses after like 5 or 6 months of doing that. And like for me, like I get my management fee paid back, and then I actually get to split profits with the team that I hired to do that as well. So I saw that structure and I was like, that makes total sense. Like all of the risk is on them to actually get it back before then we split profits. And so they want to, like they're incentivizing themselves to pay that back as soon as possible so that they can actually make something from the project. So again,
Right.
you can take this today and say, thanks, Nate and Kyle. I'm going to buy an NFT. I'm going to reach out into Decentral Games Discord. I'm going to find someone to delegate my NFT to. And like, I'm totally comfortable because I have the time to do it. Awesome. All the power to you. Adam in our group, he's bought in what, 3 or 4 NFTs himself, and he's doing the exact same thing that we're doing. And like, he was someone who took action like early on. And he, Kyle, like, I mean, you could probably mention it too, but he left a message the other day saying that like once his wedding happens, like he doesn't have like the stress of all the debt from his wedding, because he has something like this that's making him passive income. Like that's something like I want not only Adam to put in our group chat, but like we want 30 to 50 to 100 people saying like our lives were literally changed because of like a play that was given to us by this group. Like that's what like motivates me every day. Like I have goosebumps right now after I just said that. Like I'm freaking like
I do
run through
too.
a brick wall right now. But like we're trying to share these things. Like we spend our time learning about these things so that we can share these things with you. And again, if your time is more valuable because you have children or you have a high paying job where like that's your focus and like that's your passion, like that's awesome. But like we also want to help you then at that point and like make sure that like you're getting what you deserve out of this project. So I'll just cap it at that. Cap it. So thank you both for hopping on. And yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to send it in the Discord. DM either of us. Like we're always more than willing to hop on, a call and answer any questions that way. But really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, brother.